I saw you being born. I helped you come into this world. And I helped you leave it. Invincible died on the year that Stormwind fell, mounted by the Prince of Lordaeron, Arthas Menethil. Prince Arthas, then 9 years old, was present when he was born, and was given the horse by the Balnears, who bred horses used by the royal family. The horse had a white coat, different from the usual breed, normally having gray coats. Arthas had considered naming the horse Snowfall or Starlight, but in the informal tradition of Lordaeron knights and nobles naming their steeds after a quality, the colt's name became Invincible. 10 years later, in winter, before Arthas was inducted into the Knights of the Silver Hand, Arthas and Invincible were caught in a sudden snowstorm while en route to the Balnear farmstead. When Arthas came to a jump that Invincible regularly made, the horse lost its footing on the ice, propelling the young prince and his mount into rough terrain. Laying in bloody snow, Invincible lay there helpless and too far to be healed. Arthas drove his sword into the beast's heart to relieve his pain. A moment that would change Arthas forever. Struck by a mix of guilt and pride, Arthas never told anyone that it was a completely unnecessary jump that led to this accident. He was buried on the Balnear farmstead at Arthas's request, and in response to the horse's death, Arthas made a private vow to always protect others, no matter what sacrifices were required. This reaction influenced several decisions later made by Arthas, and was one of the events to inspire Arthas to become a paladin. The attitude, however, ultimately led to his choice to wield Frostmourne, giving him the power to raise the dead. Some years later, he returned to the farmstead, wielding that same sword. And now, by my hand, you are reborn. In every way, the death of his horse was a pivotal moment for Arthas, only to be echoed by the raising of Invincible 10 years later. Arthas raised Invincible shortly after returning to Lordaeron with Frostmourne to succeed and murder his own father, King Tyrannus Menethil II. Uther and Jaina Proudmoore had witnessed the questionable acts that Arthas was capable of before, events like the culling of Stratholme. Even Jaina, apprentice mage of Dalaran, whom at one time was looking to be Arthas's partner, would not foresee the direction that Arthas's life would ultimately take. These actions would not only lead to the raising of Invincible, but the raising and transportation of Dalaran to a new home. Upon his throne, atop of the ice-crowned citadel, Arthas Menethil, now the Lich King, commands an army of raised dead, including his legendary steed, the animated corpse of Invincible. He awaits Tyrion Fordring, who wields the Ashbringer. Tyrion, along with the champions of Azeroth, defeat Arthas in a long and complex battle, ending his reign as Lich King. In such a monumental story, one action remains in Arthas's mind, his one true failure. Not his relationship with Jaina, not his murder of his own father, and not the culling of Stratholme. In his eyes, his one failure was the death of his beloved steed, Invincible.